Housekiss. Welcome to today's Big Brother Over the Top updates and spoilers. Our Housekiss today is Adam Schroeder. What's up, dude? Hope you're having a great day, enjoying this lovely weekend and this season of Big Brother. And if you guys want to be Housekiss today like Adam, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. Alright, I just gotta say, who here has seen Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them? So amazing. Okay, anyway. Shout out to Fantastic Beasts. Okay, so when we left off yesterday, Justin was practicing for his Final Four challenge that he received courtesy of America's care package. He was the only person left that was still eligible to receive it. I think he would have gotten a care package anyway. I think, you know, people were saving up because they didn't want him to get like a crappy one, so I think he would have had a good shot at this one anyway. But that's just me. So then, for this challenge, he had to walk across a long slack line, and he had 2 hours to practice, and it sounds like super easy, right? But he only had one official attempt to do it for real. So he was into his practice time, and the first couple minutes, he was like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. And then he was making it across consistently. He was confident enough that he was able to take a lot of breaks, chill out, poop his pants a few times. And there was only that one time when he was on slop that we know of. But then at 4:45 p.m., it was time for Justin to make his one and only attempt. I don't think he was really nervous about walking across and making it. It was just because it was like one try only. So he waited for the air horn to sound, and then he walked across most of it, and then jumped the rest of the way to the mat. He took a pretty big leap there. And then once he made it across, he rang the bell, and guess what? Just like that, Justin made it to the Final Four. Congratulations. So this week, he can't be nominated or evicted, and everybody was like, yay, Justin! But on the inside, you know, they're all like, Alright, so then after that, Jason, Shelby, and Morgan were all testing out the slack line, having a good time with it, and Morgan freaking face planted. I don't think it was as good as Scott's fall, but it was pretty epic. Okay, so then after they went back inside, Justin went to the lounge room by himself. He did some silent prayer. He was crying, and he's just like so thankful for the opportunity. Aww. Alright, so now that Justin is in the Final Four, Morgan is in the Final Four, that leaves 3 people and 2 spots. So this week, it's all going to come down to the veto. It's very important because obviously Morgan is going to nominate Jason and Chrissy for eviction. So if one of those 2 wins, Shelby is the only other option to be the replacement nominee, and they'll vote her out. If Morgan or Shelby win the power of veto, they're not going to use it. And then Jason will most likely go unless there's some crazy turn of events and they're like, we got to get rid of Chrissy. They won't do that. But anyway, the question is, like, what would Justin do if he won the power veto? Because he's been kind of riding the middle, right? Well, here's your answer. So Justin approached Morgan in the bathroom area yesterday, and he was like, you know what? Shelby is a huge threat. Like, I'm thinking we should get rid of her before we get rid of Jason. So Morgan's like, well, how would you vote if, like, the veto was used and Jason and Shelby were up on the block? And Justin's like, I'd vote out Shelby. That's not what they agreed on. So Morgan's like, yeah, I see where you're coming from, but... And she never really gave it a solid answer. She was just like, but no. So then Justin's like, well, I'm just telling you now, I can't guarantee that I'm going to be able to vote to keep her if she's up on the block. Okay, so then Justin relays this conversation to Jason and Chrissy. He's like, yeah, I just told Morgan that I'm going to vote out Shelby if the opportunity arises. So Justin's like, if I win that veto, I'm going to use it on Jason. And like I said, vote out Shelby. So Jason's got some big plans too. He knows that this power veto competition on Monday is super important. So he's planning on talking some major shit and trying to rattle the girls before the veto competition. We'll see if he actually goes through with this. I don't know. I just feel like whenever people do this, it always backfires and it makes them look like idiots and it doesn't help them out in the competition because it just like motivates the other person even more. So like, I don't think he should do that. for his own game's sake. You guys know how, I love Jason, but I'm rooting for Shelby. Okay, so meanwhile, we've got Morgan and Shelby up in the HOH room, and Morgan's like, I don't think we can trust Justin anymore. She doesn't say, like, he just told me he's gonna vote your ass out, but she's like, I overheard Justin saying to Chrissy how happy he is that he completed his Final Four challenge, and now he can help out Jason this week by winning the veto. So they're just like, well, crap, we have to win the veto. They've been saying that for the last few days, but now they're just reiterating it. It's even more important now than ever. So then they had the live DRs last night, and there wasn't really any, like, huge revelations. You're right over there. But Justin, Chrissy, and Jason are now all saying again that they want to go to the end together. For a while it was kind of like mixed. Chrissy was always saying, like, I'm going to the end with Justin and Jason. And the other two were like, I don't know. Morgan seems like a good one to take to the end. But now they're saying, like, I wanted to go with this crew from the beginning. And come on, guys. All right. Morgan and Shelby, of course, still want to go with each other. And they're just saying again, like, they have to win the veto. Okay, so today, Morgan approaches Justin and Chrissy in the Tokyo room. People in the house have been doing that this season too. Morgan approaches Justin and Chrissy in the Tokyo room, and she's just like, so is the Jambalaya gang officially dead, or what's going on here? So Justin's just like, yeah, pretty much. I realized that if I was not safe this week, I would have been plan B if Jason won the veto. So yeah, I'm done with this. So Morgan's like, well, that's not necessarily what would happen, which is funny because Chrissy was sitting right there, but she was not, like, contributing to the conversation at all. So Justin's like, yeah, well, Shelby wasn't going to take me to the final three anyway, so, like, what's the point? So then Morgan turns around, tells Shelby about this conversation, and they're both pretty pissed because they saved Justin's ass last week, and they made this Final Four agreement with him and Chrissy, and now they're not going to follow through on it. So there's a lot more of, like, we just got to win the veto. We got to win the veto. Shelby's saying that she's going to call out Justin for sure. We'll see. I don't know. I think it would be interesting to see her out Chrissy in this deal as well, because even when Jason came in after Morgan confronted Justin and Chrissy, he was like, what's going on? Like, what'd she say? Chrissy was like, oh, Morgan was asking Justin about his deal with them. His deal. She's still not including herself in that deal. So I would love to see what would happen if Chrissy, it was acknowledged that she was in on that deal. Okay, so then Justin and Morgan were chatting in the kitchen again later, and Justin's again saying it's not good for him to keep Shelby, and Morgan's like, well, it's frustrating because Shelby saved you last week. She didn't have to do that. And Justin's like, honestly, she really had no choice. Danielle was a bigger threat, so she just threw that deal in there with me. Like, on top of that, it didn't really matter. Sure. And then Morgan's saying, like, you can go with whoever you want to the Final Four, but once you get there, it's every man for himself. It's all going to depend on who wins HOH and who wins veto. So what are you gonna do? So she's saying, like, her loyalty is still lying with Shelby, and Justin's all, I already know. And that's where we're at right now. That's pretty much all that's been happening today thus far. Tonight, no, they're not having a safety ceremony tonight. They're gonna be doing it tomorrow. I think we know who Morgan's gonna save, right? Okay, so let me know what you guys think in the comments, and until tomorrow, much love.